Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Tarot Tuesday. My name is Lori. I'm from Magic Me Scopes, and I'm here to give you a little bit of the astrology for the week of Tuesday, March 3rd, and all the way through the weekend. We'll go through to about Sunday, which I think is the 9th. And then we'll shuffle up some tarot cards. You will pick the card that resonates with you, and we'll see what the energy has to say. So there's a lot going on this week. If you read my horoscope daily on Instagram or on Facebook, you know that I've been saying we are in a very weird time. We are in bizarro world, as I called it today. But what can we expect with Mercury still being in retrograde? With Mercury in retrograde, things do tend to feel a little bit odd or a little bit off, or things have to be rechecked or re-looked at or redone. Nothing is ever perfect during Mercury retrograde, and that energy is definitely feeling like this now. Mercury is actually in its retrograde, and tomorrow, March 4th, it's going to move back into the sign of Aquarius, and things tend to get even weirder because the final degrees of Aquarius are always the weirdest and the most odd type of degrees we could be at. We were already here with Mercury at the beginning of the retrograde, and now we're just going back to go over it for a second time. So weird for certain situations, but interesting where you might find out an answer that you were looking for. We talked about the destiny point moving and the North Node being associated with this. So this just shows me that even though time feels like it might be standing still with Saturn, and I'll talk about that in a second, and even though time feels very odd, we are exactly where we need to be. And all that means is that the answers that you were seeking were not meant to find you at a prior time, or the universe wasn't ready to give you or offer you something before, but now that maybe you've learned something or you've experienced something, it's ready to move forward. Remember, Mercury moves out of retrograde on March 8th. It will be in the shadow period till the end of the month. It might be March 9th, and I think it goes through the shadow period till the 29th, but hold on to your seat, because the minute it comes out of retrograde, we are going to feel like things start to move. We've got answers, things are moving and shaking, things are happening, communication is happening, doors will open up. So my advice to you for this week is to get ready and be prepared. Now, we also have Venus squaring Saturn. And Venus squaring Saturn can bring conflict in the arena of relationships, a power struggle. Saturn rules time. Saturn is our responsibility. Saturn is control. Saturn is karma. And Venus is sensual and wants comfort and is about love. So when Venus squares Saturn, we know that this is some type of relationship issue that's going on. But remember, relationships aren't just the romantic type. This can be a roommate, a coworker, the person that you get your coffee from every morning. There's a relationship that's built. And what happens with Venus square Saturn is that conflict can come up even in the best of relationships. And at best, we work through tension points. We talk things out even if they're not easy, right? Maybe something's going on with your significant other, or something's going on with a coworker at work, and you really don't want to confront them and say something. But this is the time where when we do that confrontation, we can actually reap some rewards once this square eases up and Venus moves into its home sign of Taurus. Also, with the Venus squaring Saturn, it definitely shows you that if there is a relationship that you are in where everything is just so out of whack, everything feels very weird, it doesn't feel easy, you don't want to talk to the person or confront them, or you get a nervous feeling when you're around them, or you're frustrated, or you're saying something and they say something to you and you're like, what are they even saying? I can't even understand them. Like the relationship is like oil and water. Right now is you getting that message that the relationship needs to end. And I know it sounds terrible, because certain relationships you might not be looking to end. But if that frustration is there and cannot be worked out, this is where Saturn comes in to help you to bring the challenge so that we're able to break free and grow into something anew. If we stick in a situation and we say, well, maybe it's someone in my family and I'm not ready to confront them and I'm not ready to talk to them, It's okay. It's okay. These things happen, but just know that you will repeat the lesson again. Maybe not with the same person, but the lesson will be repeated and you'll have an opportunity again to break through. But knowing that there is a chance to break through gives you the awareness and the power to actually do it. So if you're feeling strongly enough and there's a relationship that is just, you just don't even know what to say anymore, this is the one we need to be looking at. And this is where that square is forcing something to break free. So Venus will be moving into Taurus on March 4th, which is tomorrow from the day I'm filming. And when it does, Venus loves being in Taurus. This is Venus's home sign. Venus is so comfortable in Taurus, but there still is that square to Saturn happening. So when this does happen and Venus moves more into her comfort zone, well, she wants more of that comfort. She expects more of that comfort and she's not afraid to get it. So I think that between tomorrow and through the weekend, probably until anywhere Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's going to be that frustration and maybe that breaking point where it just gets to be too much and you can't even help it anymore. Because it's like you want to feel good and you know what makes you feel good. And if something's not making you feel good, why move forward with it anymore? So today, frustration felt. Yesterday, frustration felt. Maybe over the weekend. Tomorrow, we want what we want. And we want it now. So make sure that things are definitely aligning with you. And since it has to do with Venus and in Taurus, it comes all back to our senses. So we really do feel it. This isn't something you're going to be in your head trying to work around. You're definitely going to feel what's right and what's wrong. And if it doesn't feel right, break free. I give you the pass to do that. Venus in Taurus also has some unexpected shakeup energy as it will move to conjunct with the planet Uranus, which is at 3 degrees of Taurus on March 8th. So we have so much hitting at different angles, and that's why this feels so bizarre and everything feels so weird. But expect the unexpected with that. This can be things that have to do with relationships. They can have to do with finances. They can have to do with innovating. We want new. We want something new in the relationship. If something's feeling odd, we maybe go to get our coffee at a different place. We say, I can't take it anymore. I've been telling this person, I'm ordering my coffee at the drive-thru every day, and I'm telling them, can you please use almond milk? I don't know, I'm using an example. And every day they're giving me dairy milk. And you know what? Now I'm not going there anymore. Now I'm going to go somewhere else. It's that type of energy. And then when you go to the next place and you say, oh, I'm here, can I have this? They go, oh, by the way, today's, free person who asked for almond milk day. So today your coffee's free. So when you actually break free of this karmic frustration that you are feeling, you will reap some karmic rewards if you can break free with them. And that will come with that Uranus in Venus. But that can also be unexpected shakeups where there could be financial windfalls or finances pulled right out from under you because maybe you weren't being responsible with things. So it all tends to do with us, but the energy goes both ways. We also have the sun, which is still making its way through Pisces. We're still here in the pretty early part of Pisces, but it will start to make a conjunction as it moves a little bit further in with Neptune on the 8th of March. And when Neptune and the sun conjunct, this is the weekend. So I can't even tell you that this is a beautiful energy for the weekend, especially if you are into art and creativity and music and dance, things of fantasy, our dreams coming true, feeling that we want more dreams to come true. But remember, everything with astrology has an equal and opposite. So if we have this energy to feel so amazing and so dreamy and so artistic and so wonderful, well, the opposite energy is to feel confused and delusioned and in that weird energy again. So it can go both ways. So the best way to harness the energy is to use it for the more positive aspect, which would be for something more artistic. And because this is the day before Mercury is coming out of retrograde, it's a great day to think of a preparation, think of what you want life to look like in the future. Remember, we have a lot of innovation with Mercury will be in Aquarius at that point. Everything is about the future and the innovation. So if we can feel really good, do something to make ourselves feel really good, and do something that is dreaming about our future and dreaming about what we want it to look like, we will get a boost of energy that will drive us to that area. The full moon in Virgo will be happening next Monday. I believe it's 7:47 a.m. and that is Eastern Standard Time. The full moon in Virgo is much more practical. It's much more real. Virgo is an earth sign, and Virgo is about things being real. Virgo is about things being right. Virgos don't leave any stones unturned. And it's opposing Pisces, where it's opposite in the astrological wheel. So you have one energy that's very real and one energy that's very dreamy. Pisces, the depths of the ocean, the dreamiest of energy, the end of the zodiac, moving us into the new year when we get into Aries season. So with all this opposite energy, this is where we really have the time with the full moon to end the cycle and to finally have real answers, real results, and a real action and course of where we need to move forward. So even though everything seems tumultuous right now and into this week, the weekend will start to feel better if you use that energy in a more positive way. And then by the full moon, we'll have completed this cycle of the Mercury retrograde, of the confusion, of the relationship issues, and we will either have broken through and move forward and the sky's the limit and we're ready to go, or we'll come back and repeat the pattern again and hopefully next time learn our lesson, if there's one to learn. So let's get into the tarot. I use the Paulina Tarot. I love the artwork. It's very whimsical. It's very pretty. I'm a Taurus, ruled by Venus, so I love things that are artistic and things that are dreamy. So I've got my deck, and I'll shuffle them up. So here's how this is going to work. I'm shuffling the card and we're getting energy for this week. Maybe there's some questions you're still asking. Maybe there's some relationship issues you have to deal with. Maybe there's some people you have to talk to, but you don't want to confront them. There's a lot of that hold back energy here, but the cards will give us a little bit more of an answer of what we need to do and how we'll move forward in a better space. So let's see what the cards have to say. This one flipped. Oops. As you know, I never pull out cards. I don't take jumpers either. I let them come to me. That one almost jumped, but it went back in. And there we go. 3 cards. Let's have a look. So here are the 3 cards that came out. And now it's time for you to make your choice. Do you resonate more with card number 1 over here on the left? Or card number 2, which is in the middle, or card number 3, which is over on the right. Pick your card. So if you pick card number 1, we are looking at the 6 of Swords in reverse. And the 6 of Swords in reverse is showing a fear of commitment, resisting change to move forward. So when we look at the card, we have a woman. She looks like the Empress. She has a beautiful headdress on. She's ready to go. It looks like maybe she is a little bit sad, but her sadness has some fish that she's holding in her hands, and that just shows some hope. And it means that she's coping after some kind of trauma, and she's ready to actually move on. She's moving towards a more hopeful condition that she's in right now. She's being uprooted. She's being forced to go somewhere because she was in a bad situation and now she needs to move on to it. So I kind of think of this like you're in a really bad relationship, but you know, what's holding you back? Is it because you have children? You don't want to get divorced? It's like that kind of energy. So the energy is that fear of resisting the positive change when we're looking at it in reverse, because it's saying that we need to move on to something new and the old way isn't going to work anymore. You're not happy here, or you are, or you know, you're going through the motions on a day-to-day basis, but there's no moving forward. It's a stagnant energy. So in reverse, it's saying that, you know, you're resisting the positive change, but the positive change can only be had if you make the effort, taking that sword of power and breaking through out of the resistance. This reminds me a lot of that Venus-Saturn square. So if you picked card number 2, you'd be looking at the Page of Pentacles in reversed. So the Page of Pentacles upright shows that you're in pursuit of a new goal. There's some kind of new discovery. You're finding out energy, and it looks like we've got this, it looks like a Joker type of character or a clown type of character. I told you I love these whimsical cards. And there's a rabbit there jumping. I see the rabbit as exploring new things, right? Follow the white rabbit. We've got the energy of the sun that she's holding the girl is holding in her hands, and it looks bright and it looks fun. So maybe a new career choice, definitely with the page, because the page is youthful energy, a new goal. And I see this more with this Mercury retrograde, like something is sparked, some kind of information is given, and that's the clue you need to move forward. But remember, we're working with the card in reverse if you pick this. So if you did pick this one, it means that you are not pursuing that new goal and you are not using those new discoveries. What you're doing instead is being a little selfish about it, or being a little rebellious and saying maybe like, no, that's not what I want to do, and no, that's not what it is, and I'm going to force this situation to be something else. It's also about wasting money. So I see this relating a lot to career, because I see that there's opportunity to move forward in something, but you're holding yourself back for a weird reason. It's like there is an opportunity there. There is something better you can do. So instead of making the progress towards it, there's something that's holding you back. And the one thing that's holding you back is you. You're not doing this. And this is kind of like that prior card where it's us not wanting to make that confrontation. This is us just, saying like, nope, I'm not ready for something new, or that's not good enough for me, or that's not what I want it to be, or that's not the place yet. And, if that place was like this, it would be great for me, but it's not. So I'm not doing anything with it. It's like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If there's opportunities to move forward in something, it would be the time to go. So watch if you pick this card. And if you pick the third card, we're looking at Temperance. And the Tempress is upright. And what is she bringing? Well, she's holding 2 glasses of, wine, champagne, something. Everything's coming together. Temperance is all about balance. Temperance is all about harmony. Temperance is all about beauty and alchemy and taking things and blending them together. There's that spiral over her head. She got the information from the one side. She got the information from the other side. She blended both the energies together, and it made this grand, amazing thing. Good management of putting things together, combining things, innovative things, new things. A great, great card with all of the energy that we have moving forward, even with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, which is a very innovative sign for Mercury to be in. This is where we're getting those answers. This is where we can take that maybe final answer, or that final clue, or that final little push, maybe a frustration that gets us to the point where we go, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. I want to feel good. I want to feel balanced. So that's the card if you picked card number 3. Now, if you're looking at these cards and you're looking to get a full collective reading of what I pulled, because they can be used in both ways, this is the way we're looking at it. The 6 of Swords in reverse has us recovering from some type of trauma. We are not feeling good. We are actually feeling a little bit sad. We may have to start over, but it means moving from something that might feel comfortable into something that might be a little bit more challenging, but for the greater good. The Page of Pentacles in reverse shows us that we might be a little bit rebellious about the way we're going about it. That might be a challenge, or we might be selfish. We might be selfish with our heart. We might be selfish with our mind, and we might be selfish with our money. And in turn, by using that selfish energy and not breaking through, we'll end up wasting more money than we might have tried to hold on to in the beginning, right? And then Temperance will show that if we can break through all the resistance that we've had and try to move forward, that we will find some innovation. We'll be able to blend all of the negative and positive together to bring the best goal forward and the best step forward for our future. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the feedback, and I will see you again next week for the next Tarot Tuesday.